What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 was just announced, and with that comes a lot of questions. I personally think that the current Switch is easily one of the best consoles ever, and when it comes to JRPGs, there isn't a better system to play them on. And with that said, the Nintendo Switch is missing some of the newer JRPGs that have just released lately. So in this video, I want to give you 10 JRPGs that I hope to see on the Nintendo Switch 2. So without further ado, let's get right into the games. Some of these will be a bit obvious, and the first one on the list for me will be Persona 3 Reload. I love this game, and I was so happy when we started getting Persona games on the Switch. There was this super long period where we didn't know if we would get any Persona games on the console, and everyone was begging for it, myself included. Then we got Joker in Smash, and we are like just give us Persona 5 already. Finally, it came, and I can honestly say it plays really, really well. One of the key advantages of the Switch and the Switch 2 is its hybrid design. Persona 3 Reload is a game designed for long play sessions, rich in story, social simulation, and dungeon crawling. The ability to seamlessly transition between playing on a TV and in handheld mode would make the game more accessible and easier to just hop on and knock out a couple of floors in Tartarus, for example. If the rumors about the Switch 2's improved hardware are true, it would provide the power needed to run the Persona 3 Reload game with a level of visual fidelity and performance comparable to PC and PS5. Maybe they have a new release, even with some added features, including the DLC or something like that to get us drawn back in. I'd definitely pick it up again on my Switch 2 for another playthrough on the shiny new console we've all been waiting for. Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth for that matter are games I would love to have on the Switch too. I think with the addictiveness of the gameplay loop and the mini games, this would be a great open world game to have on the go. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth's potential release on the Nintendo Switch 2 could make it an even more appealing experience. It would allow Like a Dragon to shine in terms of visuals and performance. The Yakuza series is known for its richly detailed environments. I mean, Hawaii and Infinite Wealth looks incredible, and the Switch 2 could render these vibrant settings with far more impressive fidelity, and it would really show off what the Switch 2 could do. We all sat here in complete awe with our jaws on the floor when we saw Witcher 3 was releasing on the Switch, but from my perspective, it was a little blurry and didn't look very good, so while impressive, yes. An ideal place to play it? No, not really. I'd like to see the Switch 2 take some of these larger scale, more visually impressive games and really push the new hardware to its full potential. The Like a Dragon games could definitely do that. Next up is my 2024 Game of the Year, and that's Metaphor ReFantazio. This game is incredible for so many reasons, and I think it's the perfect fit for a handheld experience. There's a ton to do in this game, and you can spend well over 100 hours trying to experience everything it has to offer. I think it's games like these that thrive on handhelds because being tied to the TV for a game like that would make things take like 10 times longer to beat. I'm far more likely to do side content and grind if I have the game available to play on a handheld system. One of the most compelling aspects of Metaphor is its richly detailed fantasy world. The game is designed to transport you to a realm full of wonder and adventure. The Switch 2's hybrid nature would allow us to carry this amazing and immersive world on the go, and I'm always a fan of that option. Nintendo has cultivated a strong audience of JRPG fans, and I think this would fit right at home on the Nintendo Switch 2. Atlas games, including the Persona series, have found really significant success on the Switch with Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 3 Portable, introducing new players to this gameplay format. Releasing Metaphor ReFantazio on the Switch 2 would tap into this already established audience and introduce a bold, original JRPG to fans hungry for deep and innovative experiences. I really hope to see it make its way to the system when it launches this year. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth would be incredible on the Switch 2. There were a ton of rumors that Final Fantasy VII Remake was running on the Switch 2 back at one of the summer showcases last year, so I think this could definitely happen. Games like these are graphical showcases that can really allow Nintendo to show off what significant of an upgrade the new system is and get many new fans on board. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth expands the scope of its predecessor by introducing us to a vast, open world beyond Midgar. From lush forest to sprawling plains and these towering mountains, the game is a grand-scale journey filled with exploration and discovery. The Switch 2's ability to swap between handheld and docked would allow us to embark on this adventure anywhere. And for a game like this, it would be super impressive no matter how you look at it. Exploring the open areas, knocking out side quests, playing Queen's Blood for hours on end. There's so much to do in Rebirth that having this game handheld would be amazing, giving us like endless things to choose from for various situations. This is a perfect fit for the Switch 2. It just makes sense. Next up, I have one that's not so new, but honestly one of my favorite action JRPGs of recent memory, and that's Scarlet Nexus. This game is so fun. The combat, the story, the characters, the world. I mean, it all blends together to make for an insanely good time. And the whole time I was playing it, I thought, man, this would be so awesome to have on the Switch. The game has these visual novel style vignettes, and the way the story plays out, there's a lot there that would cater well to the handheld experience. One of the standout features of Scarlet Nexus is its vibrant anime inspired art direction and these like futuristic cyberpunk style cityscapes. The Switch 2's rumored hardware improvements would allow these visuals to really shine, from the neon lights to the eerie designs of like these others. The upgraded capabilities of the Switch 2 could faithfully bring Scarlet Nexus' striking visuals to life without sacrificing performance, even during its most chaotic combat sequences. The combat in Scarlet Nexus is one of its most celebrated aspects, combining fluid melee attacks with strategic use of psychic powers to control the environment. The gameplay style is perfectly suited for the quick, modular sessions that the Switch 2 would obviously excel at. I feel like the Scarlet Nexus has been heavily slept on, and it has the potential to become a standout title in the console's library. I mean, we've seen time and time again Switch breathe new life into games that were slept on in the past. A release on the Switch 2 wouldn't just bring this game to a new audience, it would really elevate the way everyone kind of experiences this game. I really hope to see it come to the system. When they showed off Visions of Mana, I was actually really shocked this game wasn't coming to the Switch. This seems like a shoe-in fit for the system. I mean, it's games like these I bought the console for, and unfortunately, it didn't make the cut. With the Switch 2 coming soon, this is the perfect chance to get this game on the go and also breathe some new life into it for those out there that may have skipped it. I think this game would have performed much better with the Switch audience, and in result, I think sales may have suffered because of it. The Mana series is known for its lush, vibrant worlds filled with diverse environments, magical creatures, and hidden treasures. Visions of Mana continues this tradition with a richly detailed world that really invites exploration. I personally love to do side content and exploring on handheld mode, and Visions of Mana would be a perfect fit for that. This game brings fresh energy and ideas to a franchise that has endured for decades. The Switch 2, as a next-gen console for Nintendo, offers a platform that can do justice to the series' legacy while embracing the possibilities of more modern gaming. I really hope to see this game come to the Switch 2, and I really hope that a lot more people get their hands on this one, because I think it was heavily slept on last year. Final Fantasy XVI is a beautiful game that should be experienced by any fan of the Final Fantasy series. Look, it may not be for you, and that's okay, but I think everyone should at least try it, because the game itself may be a step in a completely different direction for Final Fantasy, but it's an incredibly fun game nonetheless. I thought having Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth on the list were a bit of a stretch, but with Rebirth confirming that it will be deck verified, I could see Final Fantasy XVI and Rebirth and Remake all making their way to the Switch 2. At this point, we have just about every Final Fantasy game on the Nintendo Switch in some capacity. Obviously, the original Switch couldn't run 16, but again, games like this are the perfect opportunity to show people what the system is capable of. Nintendo typically releases a new console and it has some blatantly obvious feature that they are trying to sell you on, and it seems the Switch 2 is really just banking on a bigger, more powerful version of the console we all know and love. And if that's the case, it'll need games like Final Fantasy XVI to really show that this is an upgrade from what everyone already has at home. Final Fantasy XVI is a bold and ambitious entry in one of gaming's most iconic franchises, and a release on the Nintendo Switch 2 would bring this epic experience to an even wider audience. We need all the Final Fantasy games on the Switch, so let's go Nintendo, make it happen. Granblue Fantasy Relink is one of my favorite games to have released recently, and it's another action JRPG that, given the choice, I would have definitely played on the Nintendo Switch. Absolutely love the art style in Granblue Fantasy Relink, and I think it would be a great fit on the Switch too. One of the best features of Relink is its narrative, which combines these heartfelt characters, interactions, epic conflicts, and like this overall sense of wonder. I was definitely interested in it. I know a lot of people didn't love the story of this game and kind of went toward it for the gameplay, but I really enjoyed it. The series' blend of approachable storytelling and deep world building kind of like ensures that Relink will resonate with both newcomers and fans of the overall Grand Blue Fantasy series. Releasing the game on the Switch 2 would allow even more people to experience its emotional and adventurous journey. I know the series is really known for its more mobile roots, but I hadn't played it until we got the console release. And think of all the others that would have played it if it made it to the Switch. And I know I've talked a bit about the story, but the gameplay as well is the main draw here. The action-based combat, the bosses, way you can play with a bunch of different characters. The variety of gameplay mechanics here is amazing, and I loved every minute of Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. If you want the more shorter, just story experience, they got that. But if you want this like long end game with a ton of deeper, more engaging gameplay, it's got that too. This is a great fit for the Switch 2. Tales of Arise is one of my favorite Tales games. I'm currently playing Graces and loving every minute of it, but Arise is another JRPG that strikes a great balance between incredible graphics and presentation and great moment-to-moment gameplay. This is another one that could really show off what the new Switch could do. I think getting older games like this out on the new console shortly after launch could give Nintendo the opportunity to have an amazing lineup of games ready to go. These aren't just backwards compatible games, but games that never made their way to the console, and a ton of people that may have never played them will likely give them a chance on the new system. Tales of Arise is the latest entry in Bandai Namco's beloved series, and has set a new benchmark for the franchise with its visuals, compelling narrative, and more refined gameplay. Bringing Tales of Arise to the Nintendo Switch 2 would offer a unique opportunity for everyone to experience this critically acclaimed adventure in a versatile and accessible format. Tales of Arise balances its epic main story with optional side quests, exploration, and character interactions. If you've played a Tales game, this is going to be very familiar to you. These elements are perfectly suited for the portability of the Switch 2, allowing you to chip away at these side missions, hunt giants, or engage in campfire conversations whenever you have spare moment. I love that this game offers you so much different variety in its gameplay, so definitely hoping this one comes to the Switch too. Last on the list, I have Nier Replicant. I really enjoyed this game. I actually never finished it because some other things came up and I didn't make my way back to it, but honestly, this would be a great fit on the Switch. We recently got Nier Automata on the Switch and it runs surprisingly well. It's actually a perfect fit for the system, and for that reason, I'd love to see Replicant come to the Switch too. Maybe even in a bundle with both games, that would be nice, but anyway, whatever way they decide to do it, I'd love to see it there. While the original Nier gained a cult following, its remaster really helped it reach a wider audience. The Nintendo Switch has become a platform known for attracting a diverse range of players and giving games a bit of a second life. By bringing Nier Replicant to the Switch 2, Square Enix would be able to introduce the game to a new generation of players who may have missed it on other platforms. I just think the handheld format is the best way to play these types of games, so I myself would surely jump back in if the Switch 2 had it on offer. Anyway, that's it for me on this one. I'm super excited for what the Switch 2 has to offer, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more about the console in April. Please let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see come to the Switch 2. What do you expect to be in the launch lineup for the console? I look forward to seeing what you all have to say, and until next time, I'm out.